Hello, today we're going to talk a little bit about how you would modify your emerging communicator page sets in Communicator 5. Primarily, we're going to talk about how you would create an exit button so that your user can navigate in and out of their page sets on their own. Right now, we're going to use the jungle page set for an example, but you could use any page set that has no exit button, or that maybe has a small exit button for the caregivers or facilitators. In this case, if you look over here in the top right corner, you'll see that there's a very subtle X over there. And with that X, that's how we would normally exit to our home screen. Come back in here. And what we're going to do is make that X accessible to an eye gaze user so that when they're done with the game, they could exit out and select another page set or game on their own. To do that, you need to bring up your quick menu. And you'll do that either by holding down on the screen, performing a right click with the mouse, or pressing the third button on the left side of your iSeries device. And from there, you're just going to go into Edit Page Set. Now, Edit Page Set takes you into the Page Set Editor, which to some people can look a little daunting, but the tools are actually fairly simple to use. If I click on any of these icons, you can then see where the button is that a client would have to use in order to activate it. And you can move these buttons around, you can resize them, which is essentially what we're going to do with our X over here. So let me move our parrot out of the way here. And I'm going to enlarge this X. So I've enlarged it, but right now you can tell that the X is in the back of our scene. If I right click on that or tap on it on my iSeries, it'll bring up a drop down menu where I can click down here on the bottom to bring it to the front. Let's see if I did that. There we go. So right now I've brought it to the front, but you still can barely see that X in there. And what I can do to make it a little more visible is come up here to my toolbar. And right here I have the option to change the background color of my button. So I'm going to just make it white so it stands out a little bit more. Or let's see, I could even go with something really bright like a red if I wanted it to be highly visible for my user. Now I could also change what is on that button. To do so, I actually have to come over here and choose my text tool. Because right now that's all that X is just a text X. And I could delete that and select a picture if I'd like. So I'm going to get rid of the text button and I'm going to highlight my button. And what it's going to do is bring up anything that had an X on it that is in our symbol library. So I could go with a larger X if I wanted. Double click that one. Or I could even type in the word exit and see what symbols I get for that. Oh, there's a good red one right there. Now make sure when you're selecting these icons that you've highlighted the button you want it to move over to. Otherwise, it will end up covering up something else that you don't want. For instance, like that. If you make a mistake, there is an undo button up here in our toolbar. So I'm going to change this to this bright red exit. That seems like a good exit button for me. I don't need to change any of the actions or anything that the button does. So once I've moved everything to where I want and created my exit button, I can just come up here to File, and just like you do in any Windows system, if you make any changes, you'll want to save them. So I'm going to come down here and save this file. And it will ask me if I want to rename it. I'm just going to give it the same number, or the same name, which is Jungle. And it'll ask if I want to replace this with the link that's currently on my home page. Yes, I do want to replace it because I don't want the old link with that little button anymore. If I wanted to, I could change it here, and I could do it in addition to the old version, so I would have the old version and the new version available. In this case, I'm just going to say I want one version on my home page. Once I hit OK, I can come over here. I have our stop button, which means that I can't currently activate this with my eyes. If I push my play button, it should exit back out, and we should be good to go. We have our elephant, everything's in working order, And I can simply, oh, got my parrot there a little fast then, hit my X, and it'll send me back out. So that's the basics of how you would create an exit button on any of your other tools when you don't have it available for your user. There it is over there. And you want them to be able to navigate out on their own. Hope that helps, and have a great day.